Once again, coming to you live from New York's #1 hip-hop radio show, Bless Me Radio. Represent the best of hip-hop and dance hall video every single Friday night and every single Tuesday, 8 to 9. I got my man on the phone who been putting it down, Canada's own, the Archivest. Archivest, what's going on, my brother? How you, man?
Yeah, what's going on, NYC? Mad blessings out in the USA all the way to Canada.
No doubt, no doubt.
Vancouver, BC in this.
Indeed, indeed. Now, what's going on, man? Now, tell everybody how you get started, man, because I seen a lot of your interviews. Your interviews are popular. I personally like the ones when you did with Killer Priest and Kid Capri and everybody. But let everybody know how you get your start, doing interviews.
It was basically the hustle, man. Like, I used to run up on people from the start, and that was basically how it all kind of, went down. And, the first interview was R.A. the Rugged Man, where, I had a blessing to be able to sit and speak to him and whatnot, and it was just, like, super live and pretty funny and whatnot. And, it took me a good couple years to develop what I was doing, but it was, like, probably about after, like, 100 interviews or so, and then things started really popping off for me. So it was just the adventure, the hustle, and then throwing the camera up on people and just doing it for fun. And then I started getting really serious about it, like I said, after I first did Big Boy from Outkast. And that was kind of the parameter and how it, like, went down, and people kind of knew kind of what was going on. And then the beginning of 2011, I was the first to do Mac Miller in all of Western Canada, just after the Kids mixtape blew up, and did Ricky Rose and Twista, to name a few, and just every month was like a landmark for me, while I was doing 2011, and it just kept picking up here and there. And yeah, man, 2013 was big for me, man. We just got the stats, and we just broke 500,000 unique on YouTube, and I'm just 100,000 to 1 million right now.
Indeed, man. Now, tell everybody, how long have you been doing it? What was the initial year that you've been doing interviews, man?
2009, November 15th.
Now, there's a lot of people out there, man, that got a cameraman, and they want to start doing interviews, and they want to start going out there to artists and interviewing them. What would you have to say to them, man, as a dude who's been putting it down for a number of years now? What inspiration would you give to them, man, and what advice would you tell them about going out there and marketing themselves, man?
Go about your game, be super on deck about your professionalism, and market yourself the right way in order for you to land what you need to land, because you just have to be prompt and professional and really know your game plan. Some of the stuff that I did was by fate, was by the universe, power to the universe for that. You know what I mean? Some of it was prearranged. Some of it's fallen through. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a come up, and it's a hustle, and you just got to work at it, and get a good team and get people to that support you and put out your social media. You just have to have a good platform. But the reason how I got it is because I got a real golden heart at this game, and this is what I work towards. So some things that I've got the blessings of that other people haven't had, but it's because of my vision and my heart and my drive. And that's kind of what keeps me going, and, it's just non-stop. I've only done a couple interviews this year, but I'm feeling really good about it. Like, this is a really good year for me. I'm pretty much in my prime right now, and people really know what's up. So
no doubt, man. Now, who were some interviewers that you may have looked up to, man, to pattern your style after, man? Who are some interviewers that you would have to say that every time you see an interview from them, man, it's just it really inspired you to really go out there and do interviews?
Well, basically, my start was I got a spotlight from Nardwuar the Human Serviette which is my homeboy, and, you know, he appreciated what I did. And, you know, when I actually did go up to him, and people think that, you know, I took his style or what I do, it's totally different, because his fans are just, like, lethal. But, you know, people that were just, like, coming up to me, like, yo, this is Nardwuar and all this, and I'm like, no, Nardwuar's the homie, man. He's the one who gave me the spotlight. Like, I was in an interview with Supernatural, and I was able to put out items for him to rap about. So that was just, like, totally off the Richter for me. That was the start of my career. Like, August 1st, 2009 was at Rock the Bells. And, you know, like, I just love watching interviews with different people, but like I said, have a good sound, know how to bring your game, direct your questions. You know, you got to break the ice. You got to make people feel at home. And, you know, not too many people can do that. And that's something that I developed over time. But, you know, I do use my heart and my vision towards what I do. And as well as I'm a collector, too. Like, I'm a deep hip-hop collector, from albums to, you know, show posters to autographed pictures. You know what I mean? Like, I've really gone out to the nines, and, you know, I got this collection of signed CDs now, and just, you know, I got, like, my own museum, you know what I'm saying? And it feels really darn good to know what I've accomplished in under only 4 years.
No doubt, man. Now, you had interviewed a lot of artists. You interviewed a lot of artists that I know personally. You know, I seen you interviewed Pete Rock and DJ Premier. You had interviewed Red Alert, who's another good friend of mine. You interviewed so many others, man. How did you go about getting these interviews with these artists, man? And who was one of your favorite interviews that you ever did with, out of all the number of people who you did interviews with?
You know, my favorite interview is KRS-One, because that came in, and that was, like, literally a mission and a half. And I was the only one in all of Canada, while he was on over 17 tour dates, which he didn't even come back to our city for 15 years. I was the only one to sit with him, and it was like an hour and a half in depth. But, you know, I do it, like, every year. Like, Rakim was last year. You know what I mean? That was, like, a huge blessing for me. 3 years in the making and the planning. When it comes to the interviews, you know, I've just touched base with different people and kind of got in their ear. And some people have passed my name and some people haven't. Like, I just dealt with that just recently. Oh, yeah, like, I'm not able to get this person, but I got to know this person to know that person to connect the dots. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I've done it. But I've also taken it to, like, you know, real publicists and worked with different people and reached out. And, you know, now the resume speaks for itself. I just dropped Fingers from KOTD. KOTD is a very big movement. We have a battle movement in Canada. So I just caught up and met up with Paul Rich, which is one of the OGs of battle. And so that's going to be coming out pretty soon. We've just been branding and kind of immobilizing and getting things together for where it's at now. And shouts to my girl Scribe Cash, too, because she's on that social media grind. And, you know, that's my team, right?
Okay.
I got USA reaching out. And then, you know, our first blog post is going to be on Lunch and Leftovers. Shouts out to Washington, D.C. on that one.
All right, no doubt, man. So, Archivest, man, where do you see yourself in the future, man, progressing from, you know, from when you started to now? Where do you foresee in 10 years from now you doing with, you know, everything you're doing?
I mean, my vision is just traveling the world and meeting people in all different states and cities and everywhere, all across the world. And I'm just feeling good about it because, you know, I have this platform now. I've done more than 500 interviews. So, and, you know, like I said, I got a couple under the belt this year. You know, I've had a couple rocky couple years. But now, you know, this has been a solid year. Last year was kind of the rehab for me to get back in motion. But, you know, like I said, everything is kind of taken off, and I'm feeling really positive about it. I just like catching up with people and speaking on their career, and this is something I wanted to do, man. I wanted to make something of myself in hip-hop culture, and now people are known, like, that I have a real widespread name, Like, when you got someone like Charlie Tuna, shouts out to the homie and Jurassic 5, saying, yo, man, I heard that about that guy everywhere in L.A. Like, what can't you say about that guy, Like, I had the blessing of sitting down with one half of the Far Side. Shouts to Booty Brown and Uncle Amani and, Greg Campbell, because they were the ones, like, they seen my name and they were like, who is this guy? Like, what's he doing? And next thing you know, I'm sitting with half of the Far Side speaking on their career. So that was just, like, because of Charlie Tuna, like, reaching out and hearing about my name and speaking about it, you know what I mean? That's how the universe travels, like, with the message and the mindset,
No doubt, man. Now, I interviewed a lot of artists as well as you have. Was there a particular artist that you interviewed that he really didn't give off the best vibe? He kind of had an attitude, or was there all the artists have you met were they great people? You know what I mean? Let everybody know, who was like one of the worst interviews you ever had with somebody.
Oh, man. I don't really want to put anyone on blast, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, I feel you.
Because there's a few, but, like, we all have our bad days, and we all have our different vibes, and I want to keep it humble on that, because there isn't really anybody that I've really had a bad vibe with. It's just things have been miscommunicated or misinterpreted or whatnot. So, I mean, everybody, like, when I first started and I got Cool DJ Red Alert, like, I asked him about, he's like, this is your interview. You could do whatever you want. This is your vision. I'm just speaking on my behalf to you what you have to ask me about. And that was, like, such a blessing, because I was such a green up-and-comer, and, like, now I'm at a whole different game plan, so I'm feeling really good about it. But, yeah, like I said, just different people in general, you just don't know, like, but I feel really comfortable nowadays, and things have been, like, looking a lot better than what they were, because my presentation is really on deck, you know what I mean? When I put something out, it's like, bam, you know what I mean? And people are like, yeah, we love that, like, we love how you reach out, and you actually do want to do your job right, versus, like, other people, kind of witch-watchers, or, like, come up to you, oh, I want to do an interview with you, but you didn't get approved. You didn't take it to management. You didn't speak to these people. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by putting on blast. Like, it's been a huge, long road. I mean, yeah, man, I'm sorry to say, but, like, one of my favorite people of all time, Jizza, the Wu-Tang Clan,
no doubt,
he kind of didn't take me the right way. And he was just like, oh, you're like the Ed McMahon of, like, the dude on the radio. And I'm like, no, dude, like, you got it totally messed. But, we didn't do the video interview. I was trying to document the history with him, and it just turned out to be, some simple audio, which is the only audio interview I've ever done. Everything's in person and on deck, you know what I mean? So, but, he was the reason, and shouts to Jizza Genius, because he's the reason why I became who I am. Because he's one of the first people I ever met, and I've appreciated since, like, I was 16 years old from Liquid Swords, and then Beneath the Surface and whatnot. And it was just like, working with him and speaking to him and meeting him the way I wanted to was amazing. And shouts to RZA as well, because he was the first to give me a shout-out ever. I was the first to ever get a shout-out from him, and, like, that started the snowball effect of all the shout-outs, because if you go to YouTube, man, you can watch all the shout-outs on there. It's an adventure. You can sit there for like an hour and a half and watch shout-outs, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man.
Keep all the artists who shout me out,
No doubt, man. So now, one question I'm ask you, how does it feel, man, being a white interviewer in a predominantly black field, man? Do you feel that it's harder for you, or do you feel like do you feel like it's harder that you had to overcome obstacles, or do you feel that it was just easy, man, and you know what I mean?
It was good, man, because Canada is totally laid back. It's actually to do with, like, different promoters and people that want to block because they feel that it's their investment and they want to do what they want to do. And, you know, it's their time to get the person that they want to get. And, you know, people have tried to do it and they want to block and they want to hate. And it's like, yo, man, like, I did this for the heart and the vision of the artist, not for my own self. I don't do it, like, for my own self. I just do it to reach the story. Like, when I first sat with Dead Prez, it's not my story, it's not his story, but it's our story. And that's what, after I got Dead Prez, that was, like, really what changed me, you know what I mean? Like, with how I was doing this.
No
so,
doubt.
like, being out here in Canada, it's just a lot tougher, and people aren't, like, playing the game. They're all about their loot. They're all about their people opening, how many people, like, how many drinks they want to sell, how much tickets they want to do, sell the damn thing out, and it's all about them, you know what I mean, with the artist. Versus when you do go to the U.S. and you sit with people, it's a whole different ball game. Like, things are automatic. It's not even red carpet, but it's just like, yo, this is the homie. This is the dude. He does his work. This is how you hold it down. You know what I mean? And, like, that's how it happened with me and Mystical. Like, I was the only one in all the Northwest, out the USA in Washington, that got to sit with Mystical, you know? So that was an amazing treat. And now, I just give you a little advance, but yeah, your boy the Archivest connects with the Bay Area. We got Spice One and Yuck Mouth coming up, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Shouts to them, they know what's good, so I'm going to be setting up with them, and then working with the Mafia 6, which I'm super hype about, because they were my dream and vision from the start, since I was like 17, you know? Chapter 2 World Domination, that's what it was. I was just like totally hype off it. So now I'm going to be reaching out to all these people and working with them, and it's like, man, work with Spice One of all people? Like, come on, yo. Like, great West Coast all day.
No doubt, man. Now, before we go, man, plug your YouTube one time, man, so everybody in the U.S. can check it out, man. All my people out in New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Baltimore, could check out, you know, the Archivest and what he does best. And I want to thank you for coming down and doing this interview with me over the phone. You know, plug your YouTube one more time, but then, you know, we out.
Yeah, man. It's youtube.com/The Archivest. THEARCHIVEST. You can follow me on Instagram at The Archivest, and at Twitter, Real Archivist, you know what I'm saying? Archivist Don Boss on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? The Archivist for my fan page, VC Hip Hop shows. We doing this international, baby, all day. And we out there.
No doubt, man. Yo, give your shout outs to everybody who you want to give a shout out to, then we out, alright?
Yeah, shouts out to my team, man. Shouts out to Blueprint Live. Shouts out to Timber. Shouts out to my homies G-Man and Risk. Fortune Sound Club. You know what I mean? The people that got my back out here. Emotions. You know what I'm saying? Reaching out to the peeps in Bellingham. You know what I'm saying? The Wild Buffalo. We got Numos. You know what I'm saying? Peace out to my boy Grinch. Straight out Seattle, Nima, you know what I'm saying? And the homie Macklemore, man. I gotta say what's up to him. You know what I mean? Peace on that. And hopefully we can reach out and stay with him one more time.
No doubt, man. Now, I want you to hold on before alright? I want you to hold on for a minute, alright?
Yeah.
Alright, man. So, yo, right about now, New York City, the U.S., everybody out there in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Baltimore, California. We about to get into the old school mix, so I want everybody to sit back and relax and chill. And enjoy the Bless Me video ride, alright? So here we go. I'm going to play this little plug that I got from Guru. Guru, rest in peace. And here we go.
What's up, y'all? It's Big Guru. You're checking out Bless Me video. Keep it locked, alright?